Guys, unfortunately, Darren Till has a broken collarbone. He's out against Marvin Vettori, but Kevin Holland has agreed to step in. Do they make this fight? Nick and I are talking about that right now. What's up, Barnhill family? Welcome back to the channel.
Yo.
So, Nick, the Trailblazer, Kevin Holland, he had a super hot 2020.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for him, got set back by Derek Brunson in a performance that Dana was vocally unhappy about.
Yeah.
So he likes theatrics. He likes to be in the spotlight. He likes main eventing. He had his first taste of a main event. He doesn't want to go back from there. So as I expected, he would keep his eye on the division, see if anything happened, and then try to work a creative way in.
Yeah.
Luckily for him, Darren Till now has a broken collarbone. He was set to take on Marvin Vettori in April in what a lot of people were talking about would be a number one contenders fight for Izzy, because you have obviously, Robert Whittaker, Paulo Costa, they've all got fights against him, but Marvin Vettori is the only one that's got a split decision lost against him, and Darren Till is a very intriguing matchup. So Kevin Holland, just like I expected him to, jumped in and said, hey, I'll take this fight.
Yeah, it's great. Very smart move of Kevin Holland. Whenever you fall down in this sport, and let's not forget he only got second place against Brunson, but it was a bad showing, and I guess the people that matter, the brass, the big names at UFC weren't exactly happy with his performance. They were more so disappointed that he had a mental breakdown that was kind of noticeable, even to the untrained eye. We knew something was up as fans, but the best thing in these situations is to get back on your horse and keep going. Don't go take a 6-month or a year hiatus.
Right.
He didn't take much damage in that fight. I mean, obviously he got beat, but he's okay. He's ready to bounce back. And this is probably the smartest thing he can do. And you never want to be happy for when somebody gets injured. Obviously, Kevin Holland's a fan of this sport. He probably wanted to see Marvin Vettori fight Darren Till, but he's probably at least a little bit grateful that something happened to the main event, and he's at the tip of everybody's tongue for replacing one of the main eventers. I wish Darren Till the best. I was really looking forward to seeing that fight. Darren Till is a star. He's very entertaining, very fun to watch, and I just knew him and Vettori would be a great matchup. So hopefully we'll see it down the road. But let's not discredit the Trailblazer, because that's a great fight too.
Yeah.
Marvin Vettori is an absolute monster. He's for sure climbing his way up the 185 division, and Kevin Holland with a win over him could be right back where he was at the end of 2020.
Yeah, and I think for when the fights were Till versus Vettori and Costa versus Whittaker, obviously now the Till Vettori is not happening, and Whittaker's new dance partner is Kelvin Gastelum. But back when it was the original four, I said that I'm more intrigued for the winner of Till versus Vettori fighting Izzy next for the 185 belt than I am Costa Whittaker, just simply because Izzy's already knocked both of those guys out.
Right.
He didn't finish Marvin Vettori, and one judge out of the three, so 33% of the people that mattered, thought that Marvin Vettori won that fight. I didn't think Marvin Vettori won that fight, but at least one of the judges did, and he was standing on his own 2 feet at the end of it.
Yeah.
Now, Darren Till, on the other hand, he has not fought Izzy yet. He's a big star. A lot of people know who he is. They like him. He burst onto the scene with that knockout of Cowboy Cerrone. So, Izzy has been vocal about wanting a fight with Darren Till at some point down the road. So I think remove Darren Till, remove Paulo Costa, insert Kelvin Gastelum, insert Kevin Holland. If Vettori is able, if they make, first of all, the UFC has to make this fight. I don't see why they wouldn't. Marvin Vettori needs a fight. That division needs to keep going. Izzy is one of the biggest stars in the sport right now. He just came off a loss. He needs to get back in there and get his hand raised again. So the UFC is going to try to make a matchup for him. So I think that if I'm the UFC, if Vettori wins, I would make the Holland fight, and if Vettori wins, I would give Vettori the rematch.
Yeah.
And so I don't know about Kevin Holland, coming off a loss like that against Brunson. If he were able to get past Vettori, I think they would probably look to the winner of Gastelum Whittaker.
Yeah.
And so I think the Marvin Vettori is kind of in the driver's seat here with regards to who gets the next title fight if they were to make the Holland fight and if Vettori were to be victorious in that fight.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Vettori is one fight away, one great win away from being the next guy in line for Izzy. And Kevin Holland, I feel the UFC is going to make this fight official and make it official very, very soon. Mostly because they see Kevin as a marketable guy. They have already invested in Kevin, and they know what he can bring. Obviously, he had a little bit of a mental breakdown and a tough night in the office. We'll just call it that. But he's a marketable guy. They know what they can get out of Kevin Holland. He's still very entertaining. He's compelling. His walkout to the Derek Brunson fight had everybody hooked and tweeting and sending things off.
Aljo said it's a whole vibe.
A whole vibe. And everybody was feeling it. He did that in front of an empty crowd. Imagine what he could do in front of an entire arena full of people. He's just a guy that they should continue investing in, and I believe they will. And that's why I see him just for sure getting this fight. It would be a mistake if they give it to anybody else, in my opinion. There are great matchups. Don't get me wrong. I think Marvin Vettori matches up well against a lot of people that would step in. But there's just so many people that are currently lined up in the division that Kevin Holland's the perfect guy. You need to call him in. And, somebody else that's fighting, I guess they're fighting this weekend. Not this weekend. They're fighting at 262 in Houston is Jack Hermanson and Shabazian. So now you've got those two off the table. You've got Kelvin off the table. You've got Whitaker off the table. Costa's off the table. Izzy's, chilling for a little while. So it seems like the names are vast, but then you look at where everybody is, they're all paired up, and Kevin Holland's just one of the best names you're left with that doesn't have a dance partner, and that's why I think they should give it to him.
Yeah, I think, Kevin has indicated that he wants to go down to 170, and I think long-term, that's probably the best move for Kevin. Kevin, when you look at his frame and everything, but for the short term, this fight makes a ton of sense. He gets to main event another card. He gets his second crack at riding the ship in the main event position. Also, Vettori's a good dance partner for him. I feel like Vettori's going to give Kevin Holland the stand-up fight that Kevin Holland wants. It won't go the way of the Derek Brunson fight. Yeah. What you'll see is two very skilled strikers standing and trading shots and being elusive and trying to set traps and trick the other one. I think you'd see a great fight, potentially fight of the night. And I think I'm leaning towards maybe Vettori being victorious in that fight. I think his stature, he's come along really well. He's at a great camp out there in California. He's coming along very, very nicely in his MMA game. So I'd be leaning towards him, but it's certainly not an unwinnable fight for Trailblazer. And it's definitely a fun fight that I think the styles make matchups. It absolutely is the case here.
Yeah, and Marvin Vettori is a great fighter all around, great mixed martial artist. He's not known specifically for his wrestling. Coming from Italy, you don't really have that in your back pocket like some of the Russians or even some of the Americans do. And Kevin is very good on the ground. So while you're right in saying that Kevin will probably venture to 170 at some point, I don't see Marvin Vettori ever making a skill click to 170. He's a big guy. He's a powerful guy, big guy. And, I could see him trying to do what Derek Brunson did in some situations and take this guy down, win a couple rounds by keeping him there because he has a difficult time getting off the bottom. And that could pose a threat that he doesn't realize because Kevin Holland's one of the most creative and innovative strikers in the UFC right now. He's doing things that a lot of people have never seen before. Not only haven't done before, but they haven't even seen before. So I could see Marvin Vettori looking at that Derek Brunson fight and going, you know what, I can probably do that to him too. I could probably get him down, hold him down because he's one of those crafty guys. You don't really want to stand and trade with him for 25 straight minutes. Let me get him down, wear him down a little bit before I start standing and trading with him. And that could actually backfire on Marvin Vettori. This is a hard one for me. What are the odds?
I don't think any odds have come out because it's not officially announced. Okay. There's like some speculation, but it's one of those. I would be very interested when the odds do come out to see who they would favor. My guess is it would probably be a 2-1 Vettori favorite. That would be my guess.
And I do think Vettori has the skills to beat Kevin, but Kevin is. I'm interested in seeing Kevin off of a loss, off of a bad night in the office, because I feel like he's going to be able to do something special. I don't think he's the type of guy that lets baggage or weight weigh him down for an extended period of time. It's not, some people hold grudges or some people hold baggage, and I don't think Kevin's one of those guys that would carry baggage around that's going to creep and haunt him in the long term of his
I don't
career.
think so. No, he seems to be the kind of guy that can compartmentalize what just happened and move forward. And what you said about thinking you can take Kevin down and that potentially being a mistake, I don't think enough credit has been given to Derek Brunson for being able to do that.
Right.
Rinaldo Jacare Souza, the alligator, the Brazilian alligator, world Brazilian jiu-jitsu champion multiple times over. I mean, probably the most decorated jiu-jitsu player to ever compete inside the octagon, or certainly within the top 5, had triangle attempts being thrown up on him, and then he ended up getting knocked out from the top of an open guard position. So being able to take Kevin down and hold Kevin down, as he alluded to, he had a little bit of a mental, let's call it a brain fart or whatever you want to call it in there, and so that led to, but you have to give credit to Derek Brunson, too. To be able to do that for that many rounds consistently and hold him down and pin him and keep him from working any sort of game plan, having just seen him knock out somebody from the bottom and knowing how to negate those opportunities, I think Derek Brunson deserves a hell of a lot of credit as far as that goes.
Yeah, and Marvin Vettori is a great fighter, a very smart young guy. I personally don't think he would buy into the notion or buy into the bag of goods that Kevin Holland's an easy night on the ground and everybody can take him down like Derek Brunson, because almost nobody has the same wrestling pedigree and skill that Derek Brunson has. So maybe he will try to take him down, but I do think that you were right in saying that this will be largely a stand-up fight. And if Kevin's able to use his range and his craftiness, he could probably get a decision victory over the very tough Marvin Vettori. I just feel like Marvin has some good momentum in his direction, and he's felt the champion, the champion who is head and shoulders above everybody, as far as the fights at 185 go, and he probably felt it and goes, I can beat that guy.
Yeah.
And so he's probably putting in crazy hours and crazy training sessions to get where he needs to go. Not saying they all aren't, but once you've tasted the
once you fought the champion and one guy says you won the fight, I mean, you got to feel good about it. Obviously, you don't feel as good as if you had won the fight, but you got to feel like you were right there on the cusp of greatness.
Some people kick their feet up when I've won rounds against that guy at one point. Marvin Vettori seems like the kind of guy that he won't even brag about that. He'll just say, you know what, I'm about to go take that guy's belt. So this is a great fight. I really hope it happens. I'm banking on the UFC making it official within the next 72 hours to the next week. Yeah. And
maybe even by the time this video drops, they make it official.
Yeah, hopefully so. I'm really happy for Kevin Holland. I'd like to see him get that shot. And, like the old Wayne Gretzky saying, you miss 100% of shots you don't take. Everybody should take notice. Kevin Holland takes shots even when he's down, even when he fell down. He's taking more shots, and that's only going to do good things for him and have a positive impact on his career. Yeah,
if you let the narrative be painted for you after a loss, it's bad. But if you get out in front of it and get on top of it, sometimes you can catch the trajectory, the ball, and change the trajectory.
Yep,
and so
absolutely.
I think Kevin Holland might be doing that here.
That's awesome.
Guys, let us know in the comments, what do you think about Kevin Holland potentially stepping in and taking another crack trying to right the ship at a main event against Marvin Vettori? Let us know. We love engaging with you guys down there. And please, as always, if you've enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Hit that bell notification so you get notified when we drop a video. All of that helps us out tremendously, guys. Our channel's continuing to grow, and it's all thanks to you all, and we sincerely appreciate that. So keep it coming, and we will see you in the next one.
Peace.